The team at BioWare Austin has been hitting it out of the park lately, with the first look changes to Anthem 2.0. A lot of our prayers have been answered, such as additional weapon varieties, new locations, different enemy variants, gear re-rolling, and the list goes on and on. And that was just our first peek. However, in today's video, I wanted to touch on one of the biggest proposed changes that I think was vastly overlooked when all this information was released this past month. That being non-cosmetic armor sets and tangible mods for our javelins. Of course, everything we are about to discuss and see is the game in development and by no means represents how the final product will look. You also have to keep in mind a lot of these things can change between now and launch, so take everything with a grain of salt. But before we get into the video, I wanted to say a very special thank you to today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers membership with meaning. With so much to explore, real projects to create, and the support of fellow creatives, Skillshare empowers you to accomplish real growth. And let's be real, what better time to be learning new skills than right now? These classes are designed to fit the laxest or the busiest schedules, so you can learn at your own pace. I've personally been learning how to use Blender in my spare time, with Remington Markham, which is where I learned to make this little guy. The first 1,000 of my subscribers who click the link in the description below will receive 2 free months of premium membership so you can explore your creativity. Special thank you once again to Skillshare for being a longtime partner with the channel, and without further ado, let's get into it. Now, as I mentioned before, it looks like Anthem is going to be doing away with components altogether. Most of you know what I'm talking about. Components are those 6 things that kind of act as a pseudo blend between armor and mods. And to be completely honest with you, it was one of my least favorite things about the base game. That and of course the craftable sigils, which, we're not even going to get into that. Thanks to this screenshot that was shared with us in the last blog post by Christian Daly, Anthem's new game director, it looks like we are going to be getting armor and mods in Anthem. That being a helmet, chest piece, gloves, and boots. And it also looks like we're going to be getting 2 mods. One of those mods I believe is being covered up by the sledgehammer, and it does look like they are unlockable. Similar to how components worked with Anthem, after you achieve certain levels, more and more of them would unlock. Now personally, a lot of my issues with the components had to deal with the inscriptions. The components themselves were fine, but I personally rather the idea of armor sets and mods. It just makes things a little bit more tangible for me. Instead of, these 6 little components are within your javelin, you've actually got a real helmet, a real torso, real gloves, real boots. And then of course your little modifications. Now for armor, what I would like to see are actual armor sets. Say you go and complete the Tyrant Mine Stronghold, and that stronghold has a chance to drop stuff that you can't get anywhere else. Let's say the Tyrant Breaker's armor set. And for each piece of the armor set that you have, above 2, would grant you increasing intrinsic perks. BioWare is renowned for doing this, and one prime example being SWTOR. The more and more of these armor sets you have, the better and better the intrinsic perk would be for this hypothetical Tyrant Breaker armor set. If I only have 2 pieces of it, let's say that there's a 25% chance that I could deal acid damage with any of my gear pieces. But when you stack on, let's say, the gloves, that goes up to 50%, and the boots, 75%. Now, of course, this is just hypothetical, and stuff that I would personally like to see. And of course, with inscription re-rolling, hopefully it'll be a bit more manageable with your armor sets in the future, with getting the rolls that you want. Now, in terms of mods, I don't quite know how those would work, and I would love to hear your ideas in the comments section below about how they could work. Could it be something to the effect of, let's say, a 25% gear cooldown on missiles, 40% additional hover time, etc., etc.? I think there needs to be something that separates armor from mods. Either armor could be pure stat bonuses and inscriptions, and mods give you more intrinsic perks, or there's gotta be some sort of happy blend. Otherwise, there's nothing that differentiates a helmet from a mod, in terms of what they can do. One route could be that mods modify your weapons and gear, while your armor does more things for your base javelin, such as the hover time that I previously mentioned. Regardless, like I keep saying, there needs to be something that separates the two from each other. Plus, this is a huge opportunity for BioWare to really go headfirst into builds. and to allow the community to really build, well, builds. The reason why I haven't made any build videos on my channel is so much is so subjective. Like, yeah, I can tell you to have Ralner's Blaze, Wyvern's Blitz, and Eternal Squall. That's all fine and well, but my build could vastly be different from yours because of the inscriptions. While the intrinsic perks would more or less be the same, the inscriptions would throw everything off, making the collaboration on builds, or the sharing of one build to another player, just about impossible. Regardless, I think that this is a brilliant step in the right direction, switching over to an armor and mod system versus everything being that blended together mess that was components. But what do you all think of this potential change? Anything that you see wrong with it? Are you one of those weirdos that just likes components more? Let me know in the comment section below, as I really do read through all of your comments, and I will reply if there's conversational potential and time. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date on all things about your game, Anthem, especially as Anthem 2.0 keeps on ramping up development, then please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it really does help me out and allows me to reach more freelancers just like you. I hope all of you fantastic freelancers have a phenomenal day as always, and I look forward to seeing each and every last one of you in the next video very soon. And remember, freelancers, we are strong alone, but we are so much stronger together.